good evening and welcome back to Rangers Radio. Rangers won, Motherwell won in an ultimately disappointing display at Ibrox. We still remain top of the league, but joining myself, Fox, on the show is my mate Jaffa. Thoughts, Jaffa boy?
I thought we feel a wee bit flat, Ox. I wanted a 90-minute performance. Again, I think we got a 30-minute performance. Could have been better, a lot better.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Fits and starts some nice stuff, particularly in the first half, with a couple of good opportunities in the second half. The boy Simpson, I just don't know if he's going to be Rangers class. Not just his fault, we dropped 2 points, but I thought Roof was poor up front. Scott Wright, nice touches in the middle of the first half, but ultimately didn't deliver a lot. Sakala gave us a wee bit. I didn't think he was going to last 90 minutes. The midfield in the first half played well. Second half disappeared, mate.
Yep, that's exactly what happened, Docs. Again, just fell out of the game, lost our shape, didn't get the second goal. We had a great opportunity with Stephen Davis. He ran, we opened him right up. It was like 3 against 1. And he just made the wrong call, and then they got up the part of the other end and scored the equaliser. Need that second goal, Ox, and then the third one comes a whole lot easier. Just
I mean, you're not going to win nothing every week. You need to go on, especially when you're at top. You've got to drive it home and finish a game, go 2 or 3 nothing up, put it aside.
Yep, I know. I'm starting to, trying to be a little bit positive. We're still 4 points ahead. They got cuffed again. Still a good day to be a Ranger, but we could have got 3 points there today. That game was there for the taking.
And it would have been an even better day. Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, for me, we were fortunate to get the goal, mate. I thought right away it was offside, but we got it, and you move on, you take it.
Yep.
And then it came for we'd lost. We conceded a good chance where the boy Watt was left through on top of McGregor. Great bit of goalkeeping by McGregor. Again, Simpson, Golson wasn't perfect, Two of them playing square. I gave them a chance. We got the part and get the goal. And pretty similar in the second half. We used to made it 2-0 when they got the part and equalised.
I know. Yeah, and I think you said earlier, Ox, I think we got out of it what we deserved, to be honest with you. I think probably a draw, they then just killed the game. They were obviously watching Leon the other night there, weren't they?
I don't think we deserved to. We were a better team over the 90 minutes, but because we get slack and we didn't play well in the second half, you've got to make your own luck sometimes. So we lost a real bad goal. The boy gets inside Tav, pulls Golson across, passes in. I don't know what Simpson's trying to do. I really don't. If somebody wants to come on and tell me. And then Barisic hasn't tucked in, and the boy it just goes into the net and goal. Anyway, we get these lines open. A lot of happy bears on it.
Yes. Let's see what I've got to say.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, ultimately disappointing, but we're still top of the league, as you rightly pointed out, Jaffa.
Yep, indeed, Ox. I know, but we could have, as you say, it could have been a good victory. 6 points, we would have been ahead of our nearest rivals, but we are still 4 ahead of them. So it is what it is. But we're not playing well, Ox. There's no two ways about it. We're not clicking.
I agree, mate. I agree. I thought we'd go over a hiccup with some of the passing in the first half, short, sharp stuff, running after the ball. We were pulling them. We had them all over the place. We had them chasing shadows for about 20 minutes, mate.
Yes.
You've got to put the ball in the net more when you've got teams on the ropes for that. Start of the second half, we started slow. They were happy just to keep their lines. I think they committed more than they imagined, but it was because we weren't keeping the ball and we'd no movement up front, we'd no movement in the middle field. I thought there was a spell in the match when Joe Aribo was excellent, and then I thought there was another spell in the match when Joe Aribo was poor.
He went sleeping. Yep. Yeah, and I think that's what's going on, Ox. I think that's happening across the pitch. I think it gets disjointed. as I say, you rightly say, it looked good in the first half. We were sharp. The 1-2s were coming. There was a lot of interplay happening. We were opening them up. We were finding space. Every time we opened them up with 2 or 3 passes, we had an extra man. Needless to say, we were playing right on their shoulders. But we stopped doing all of that. It was, I don't know. Don't know the answer, Ox. I'd like the Bears to tell me, though.
And one of the things I know is Scott Wright, who I want to see on the wing, taking players on. He's playing in beside the centre forward, obviously, playing with his toes. So I just don't get it, mate. I don't understand it. Got to go around the back and stretch these teams. No playing. So mix it up. Go different ways, But when it worked, it looked good. But we ran out of ideas in the second half.
We did, and I don't know whether again we just we got laxed. We thought the game was over. The game's never over at 1-0. Never over. Never in a million years. I mean, 1-0 for the opposition. If you're a Motherwell, a Livingston, or whoever you are, St Mirren playing at Ibrox, 1-0 means nothing because a moral victory for them is getting the draw, and that's how they feel. That's how they see it.
I think we've been joined by Ozzy. How we doing, Ozzy? You better get your bed, boy.
Oh, mate, I'm very, very frustrated. Why do we keep trying to pass the ball into the net? Why? That's all we did after we got this first goal. We just kept trying to pass it. Yeah, second half. Passing. Davis had an easy chance to go for a shot. You never know what's going to happen. He decides to pass it. Then Ariba does the same, passes it off. It's like they get passing it on to somebody else to take responsibility to have a shot.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. The one with Davis, what is he? By the time he passes it, he must be, 10 yards for goal, Jaffa?
Well, he done all the hard work, Ox. The hard work was he broke the line, and at his age, you saw the pace of him as well. And I thought, get in there, mate. And the easy bit, he just fluffed it. He got caught in two minds, Ox, because the guy, I don't know who was on his left shoulder, but he was running into the box, and we had obviously again, I don't know who was on the right, who he was trying to pass it to.
Kamara, he passed it to.
Was it Kamara? It was Kamara. How he's right, and he just, he took it a yard too far or 2 yards too far. Or he should have belted it. If I'd been in his shoes, I would just have wellied it because the goals were in front of him.
Aye, I don't disagree. Scott, ultimately, frustrating's a good word, mate. Frustrating's a good word.
Aye. I mean, this season has just been full of frustration for me.
Yeah.
And we know that we've got a good team, but they're just not performing like we know they should be.
I don't think anybody will disagree with that. I think that's where the frustration comes from. We feel as if we're playing with a bit second gear, Jeff.
Aye, exactly, Ox. It's like playing with the handbrake on, isn't it? The second half, they've done great in the first half. I totally are up. I think we all agree. We were like, hey, this is more like the Rangers we know. But we're just not, not even a 90-minute performance. Give us a 70-minute performance. And that would probably be enough to kill most teams off and get the second goal. It's not happening now, boys. It's not, I dare say Steven Gerrard will be pulling his hair out of north. Like, what is it we're doing in different? Because they probably aren't doing anything different. Apart from the niggles and injuries. Then you look who we bring on in the bench. Morelos comes on, all the big hitters come on, and it never made any difference. In fact, if anything, it made it more disjointed.
Aye.
I didn't understand the Arfield substitution, mate. Yeah.
Yep.
Unless he didn't think Davis was going to last, and then he moves Kamara into that position. So ultimately, we're changing two things. And then Lundstrom, who'd arguably his best game, sitting on the bench. There's a few things. But then again, if we'd have won 1-0, with, it's all about taking your chances, Jaffa. Yeah, when you're in top, it comes back to the same thing.
I mean, you look at and you'll actually look at the stats, Ox. We had 7 shots in target, 24 shots in goal against their 5. They had 1 shot in target. So it's not that we didn't have opportunity. We had great opportunities today. Didn't take them.
The big moment for me was the Davis one there, but Scott, when Roof missed that chance to start the second half, that was a sitter for me.
Oh yeah, if he had scored that one, if he had banged that into the net, we would have been off and flying again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think after that, the heads went down and.
See me. I don't know if some of them run out of legs for Thursday night, but I don't want to make excuses. I'm just an observation.
Yep.
You're right. The heads seem to go down around about that time. Jaffa?
Yeah, they did, Ox, as you say. Good point. Very, very valid point. You know, they played a really hard game on Thursday night. They were all at it. I don't know, but then again, we keep hearing we love playing Thursday, Sunday. It's great. It keeps them fit. They're at their peak fitness. Don't know, Ox. I'd love to know. I'd love to be in that dressing room and find out so I could tell you so.
Aye, well, hopefully we can get things back on a roll. Wednesday night now against Livingston. We'll go on a high now.
Yes. Did they win the day, Ox?
They won the day, aye. They won the day. Don't know who they were playing, but we'll be joined by Andrew for Crookston. How we doing, Andrew?
How we doing, Ox? How's things? All right?
You really want
could
to know?
Could be better. Aye, could be better.
How are you, mate?
I am brand new, mate. Brand new. Just phoning in. I just want to make a point or two. First point. I just don't know why he's for a start he's dropped Balogun for Simpson in this game, especially against a Motherwell, a stubborn Motherwell who we know before. We've done the same before. 1-0 up, half time, and then missed about the second half, and then lose a goal and drop points. All right, they drop points, which is good, but it takes the sting out of it. Takes the joy out for me anyway. It takes the joy out that lot getting beat. But I just don't understand why he's dropped Balogun. Balogun's not put a foot wrong.
I agree, mate. I can only think it's today with the number of games he's played, maybe a knock or something. We'll have to go a lot of centre halves. So I'm no fan.
Must be a knock, Ox.
I'm no fan of Jack Simpson's, Andrew. I just at the moment he looks like a rabbit in the headlights, and I don't think he's in my top 5 centre halves that is available for us to play.
I agree with you totally. When I seen the team sheet, I seen Simpson, and I thought, oh no. I had a horrible bad feeling. I did.
Andrew, Simpson had part of the goal. He wasn't alone. But wasn't Jack Simpson?
I know he wasn't. No.
It wasn't Jack Simpson's fault. We dropped 8 points today.
It was
a midfield and the forwards.
It was not.
What was your second point? What was your second point, Andrew?
Second point is just basically the coming out in the first half and playing the first half, and then the second half we seem to we've done it many times there the seasons. What is it that we go 1 up and then come out the second half and just think the game's over?
Jaffa?
Do you know what I mean? St Johnston last year was the last minute header with the goalie, took us to penalties, get put out the cup. I could go many times. Hamilton. There's been so many cases. We should have been away.
Frustrating, very frustrating, Andrew. It was a frustrating performance. It's left the fans frustrated today. 1 each. When we could have won the game, we were by far the better team. Just form, Andrew. It's just form. And we've got a bit of knocks in the background. Balogun was clearly on a knock today, or else Balogun would have been playing. I'm 100% sure of that. That was obviously the only option that was left him. Here, I've got a question, Ox. Does Nathan Patterson, or can Nathan Patterson play centre-back? Have I read that wrongly?
I don't know, mate. I've been aware of that, mate. I have been told that he could play on the left-hand side left back, but centre back, I don't know, mate. We'll find out. But I just don't know. I think the word's frustration. We're going to make sure we don't get carried away. Hello, we've been joined by our caller. How we doing, caller?
All right, to get a shout out, man, from my girlfriend and my sister.
All right, mate. On you go then.
Aye. My girlfriend Lauren and my sister LJ.
All right, I'm
Gander.
glad they were two different people there. You had me worried there, mate.
Aye, sorry, mate.
On you go, mate. What's your point?
Just to basically give them a shout, you know what I mean?
No bother, mate. You've done it. You've done it.
Aye.
On Rangers Radio.
On the jails.
Cheers,
We
mate.
are with.
Aye, well, I'm glad they weren't the same person who had me worried, Jeff.
Not sure if that landed, Docs.
Aye, with some good performances in the first half, and you're thinking, we get the second goal here, Jaffa. We can go in and win 3, 4 or 5 here. You know,
at half time, that's exactly what I was thinking, Ox. When they went out, walking up the tunnel, watching it on the telly, I'm saying, we're 1-0 up, we're like miles ahead. We come back out second half, get the second goal. This could be a 3 or 4-0, like Andrew for Leeds had on his coupon.
Aye.
Didn't happen.
Aye, you're right. But Alan McGregor had a great save in that first half, didn't he? When he dived at that boy Watt's feet. He dived at that boy Watt's feet.
Yeah.
You know. Who would you say was a better players today, Andrew?
My better players for me, I would say
Sharina.
I'd say Kamara was not too bad. I would say Wright was okay in the first half, just about. And I thought Roof was okay in the first half.
Must have missed that.
Well, I mean, what I mean is you got his selling a couple of decent positions, but never seemed to get the ball away, but into the back of the net. But to be honest, I don't think there was too many pass marks, if you ask me.
It was a game of two halves. What was John Cal? How are we doing, Cal?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Fox?
Good man, mate. Frustrated, disappointed, but ultimately, well, you have to take it and move on. I know we keep playing that record, mate. Give us your thoughts.
Well, I thought the first half we were brilliant. Shots all over the place. No on target, obviously, but that's what I want to see. Get shot, keep the goalkeeper walking about and looking for where something's happening instead of just watching it going across and across and across and across. I still think, even though Aribo I thought was good today, he still takes too many touches. I think he's always one touch away from being brilliant, if you know what I mean. He's one touch away from being brilliant. Defence, don't blame Simpson. I thought Simpson for the goal, he got in a wee block. He didn't cover himself in glory, but in the whole game he was all right. Golson Tavernier, that pass back, I says to my missus, here we go, nerves are setting in. And it is, I mean, you can see it in Rangers. Any wee thing and they start panicking, it's horrible.
Well, listen, mate, I don't know why we couldn't get the ball in the midfield. I don't know. I didn't notice if they changed their shape. With nobody up against O'Donnell to get the ball up to try and take him on. We know, but he's not the best defender in the world. He's just dead.
But the other thing, Ox, Fawn doing, holding your leg all the time. Come on, let's get a grip of this. 6 minutes extra time for them, Fawn doing, sitting in their body. I don't want to swear because I know what yous are like for saying that begins with A and things like that. It's just pathetic. Come on, I mean, time wasting was astronomical. That was at the park with the
that begins with A, astronomical.
I know, sorry, I forgot. I didn't mean to say astronomical. I thought it was disgusting actually then. But you know
you're
what
always
I
going to get that, Cal.
I know we're always going to get it, but we never do it. When we are under pressure, we do not do that. You know what I mean? We can't turn it about.
No. We had opportunities.
I think the thing was, mate, we should have put the game to bed. That's what
I thought in the first half, Fox. We should have had that dead and buried. And I says to my missus in the second half, if they score one, we might score two. You know what I mean?
I mean, they've been playing well. Listen, I'm not saying Motherwell are no great shakes. We were by far, player for player, we were by far the more superior team and the better team. But they've been playing well, and they know how to play. They've got a wee system that they stick to. But we could have killed that game in the first half. We could have killed it. Our play, some of the entry, with the turnover, the pressure was sitting on. We were right on the 18-yard box for 20, 15, 25 minutes of the period of the second half. Long periods of it. We just never killed the game off.
But
Second goal, we'd have done it.
With no width, mate. We ended up with no width.
It was on narrow, Ox. Well, went straight down the middle, and that makes it easy. And you mentioned O'Donnell there. For me, he's their weakest player on their team because the minute he's not a great footballer and he gets muddled up, and the minute you put any kind of pressure on him, and Sakala was doing that in the first half, and Barisic, and that's where a lot of the joy was coming from. But we just stopped doing that in the second half.
I think it's frustrating. The game of two halves.
Yep.
Very good in the first half, Carl. Poor.
I thought we were great in the first half, but we didn't finish a game. That's it. You don't finish it half. You're always waiting in a sucker punch.
We weren't top draw in the first half. We were good, but in the second half we were poor.
Wait a minute, Ox. I thought in the first half that's the best I've seen us all season.
Well, that's it. But it's not the best we've been. We know we can do more. We've been joined by somebody who's always on form, George EK. How we doing, George?
Hi, George.
Oh, I'm gutted, man. Absolutely gutted. Honestly, I thought we got a warning with the thing with the goalkeeper, their goalie just punting the ball up the park by the way in that walk. Just as well, Griggsy get his heart in it by the way. That could have been a goal. That was a warning. You know what I mean? And then in the first half, I think we're pretty decent. I wouldn't say we were fantastic, but we were decent. The second half, we just weren't at the races at all. By the way, we were absolutely awful. And you see that boy Simpson, he does nothing for me. I don't think he's good enough to be a Rangers top, to be honest with you. And I thought the boy Scott Wright was out of position also, and I thought when he came out today, he got a chance because Kent's injured to show what he could do. He never done anything. I mean, and honestly, we had a chance by when they're out today, man.
Well,
I mean,
George, answer me this, George.
Aye.
Scott Wright, Brian Kent, they're wingers. Why are we playing them in the middle?
Mate, mate, I'm the same as you. I'm lost.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's Gerard thinking, by the way? And these substitutions then with Morelos and all that, and what you call it, Scott Arfield. I was baffled. You know what I mean? He never made it look any better at all, by the way, you know what I mean? And I'm lying to myself. Honestly, we're so predictable, really, aren't we?
Well, we need when we played well with width from our team, we can't always expect the fullbacks to do it, you know.
I thought Sakala was all right, by the way, you know what I mean? I don't know why we took him off.
I would imagine that was pre-planned, mate.
He definitely offered a threat, you know what I mean? The boys get ability, you know what I mean? You can definitely get loads of pace.
He just wants to shoot.
What do you think of Barisic, man? I'm getting sick of Barisic, I really am.
Well, I'll tell you what, George, I felt as if the second half when we weren't playing well, I think everything went down the right and nothing down the left, Jaffa.
That's what I mean. Aye.
Exactly, Ox. I think, again, that come down to our shape. We just lost the shape completely in the second half for whatever reason. You know, I don't know what it is.
But we don't see a plan B, didn't we, no?
No. And also, once they get their goal, George, the reaction didn't. I don't know. It wasn't cohesive enough. You know, we never went back to just doing what we do good. We always, it was a scattergun approach.
Aye, and we started panicking and all by man. Goldson nearly scored an own goal. Not talking about. And after that, man, Griggsy was just like the ball was coming him. He was just punting it out. Like panic stations, you know what I mean?
Aye, well.
I mean, that catcher's lost 1-0 today, and I was like to myself, man,
can I come in back in, Ox, please?
In you go, Cal.
Don't be too negative. We got a draw. They lost. Come on.
It's no
dismal. It's no dismal. We just need a tweak. If our manager can tweak the team, we'll be all right. And he needs to tweak it pretty shortly.
I really admire your attitude, and I think you've got a lot of fair comments there, Cal. But what I will say, if you're just critiquing the match, this is an aftermatch show. It's not about the match. It's about the aftermatch show, and you're talking about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rawness of coming off after watching that second half. Jaffa?
Yep, and you've got to call it as you see it, Cal. And unfortunately today, we were in the second half, we were a mile off it, and that's why they scored their goal. The first half, we were decent. I agree totally with George. He always calls it 100%. We were decent, but we played a lot better than that. We this is Glasgow Rangers. We've got some of the best players in our pool. They're all getting paid handsomely, and all the fans were there today for Flag Day. The place is buzzing. All the fans wanted today was a really decent performance. I think we're all crying out for give us even 70 minutes.
Jaffa, did you see them at the end? As if they'd won the cup final.
That's what you're going to get, George. They love that.
What I mean, unbelievable.
You've always got.
And you come, Andrew.
I was just saying, like we've been saying on the show for weeks upon weeks. When are we going to get this 90-minute performance? Apart from the Dunfermline game, as we've mentioned, 45 after 45 minutes, I thought, right, good, we're going to get this performance, and then it's still not happened. It's beginning to get a bit, worrying that we can't get a 90-minute performance at the team.
Mm-hmm. I understand where you're coming from. I mean, and you're right. It wasn't a 90-minute performance today. I'll go to Cal, but as you said, in the big picture, we're still sitting top of the league. Bizarrely, Cal.
Aye, but last year, Ox, I came on this show and I says Gerrard's no got a plan B. He still hasn't got a plan B. I get a bit derised last year because I says that. He's got a 4-3-3 and that's all he does. The day I thought he tried a wee bit different with Sakala, long boys, the guy was doing well. But a long ball to me, I'm a bit old school. That's just a punt up the park. If it hits you, it's a good pass. If it misses you, it's a punt. You know what I mean? I've always been like that. And at the same time, we go to Tavernier all the time. We rely on Tavernier. The ball goes right when sometimes they're opened up in the left. But you've got to go to Tav. I've said that and all before, McGregor to Tav. Now, anybody can watch that. I mean, I wasn't a great football player. I played regional league in Germany, but I wasn't a great player. I was a good half-back, sort of fitting in. A half-back tackles to let your full-backs jockey. And that boy Simpson's getting hung out to dry now with other people no pulling their weight as well. And I do see it, no pulling their weight. Kamara strolls through a game sometimes, and other times he's posted missing with soft passes and things like that, Mm-hmm. None gets says about Kamara doing soft passes, which I see quite a lot on it. A look away pass, but it's a yard short in speed.
Kamara wasn't great today neither.
No, he wasn't great on Thursday either. Oh, come on, I mean, I didn't come on Thursday because I was raging.
Can I come in a bit there?
On you go, George.
You know, surprised Ox Jerry get man of the match. I was surprised.
It's done with the sponsors, mate. You don't know, you know what I mean? It wouldn't have been my choice. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Who the piece, if I was picked for man of the match, I might have just gave it to Sakala, but I thought apart from the first 10 minutes, the 10 minutes, I thought Golson actually done all right. But no outstanding. And you come.
And you come who?
Somebody said Ox there. All right, sorry. And you come, Jaffa?
I think the other thing, when the Rangers team, I'm using Robert's expression, our Rangers. See when our Rangers are doing, when we're getting our 3-0 victories and we're 3-1s and we're 4-0 and we're turning teams over. Most of our 9 players in our team are hitting a 7 or an 8 out of 10. And we're not doing that now. There's 3 or 4 hitting it. And that's not enough to give you a performance. There's 4 or 5 in every performance, guys in the team, whoever they may be, are hitting 5s and 4s and making mistakes. And we need to knock that. We need to knock that out of our team. We need to get the sharpness back. I don't know if it's just down to fitness levels. I don't know, Ox. I don't know what's going on in the background. I know there's loads of stuff going on. The manager keeps alluding to it.
Is it confidence?
Could be. Yeah.
Big word, confidence.
Yeah, Cal uses big words.
Hey, me now, I can use another big word. Remember last year, we played high intensity. The same way as Liverpool did the year before and vanished with the scene.
Yep.
You know what I mean? High intensity is okay when you're no refreshing. If you've got to refresh your team.
The high press was
We
the
tire
expression that used to
people
get
out.
used. We play a high press. Don't know where the high press is away to.
I don't know. I think it's in my back press with my shorts.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the worst I've ever heard.
That's all right. There's worse to come.
And I've heard some bad ones, George.
Oh, gosh, that's sick.
You can still laugh. I mean, we're a tough crowd, George. We're sitting top of the league. We're a tough.
At the end of the day, man, did you see the fans? They were leaving the roads 10 minutes before the end of the game. They'd had enough.
They're like that all the time, mate. We're fans.
Somebody loyal.
Yeah.
You know? Don't criticise them. They were there. They were there.
Yeah. Paid their money.
They were there. We've been joined by... this could be good. We've been joined by Andy for Leeds. How we doing, Andrew?
Good afternoon. Listen, I'm just going to put it out there. The problems are still there with certain players in that team. They've not got the boys to play for us. It's as simple as that. I said pre-match, if it's 1-0, watch them. They'll start panicking. They were second to the ball the second half when they started coming on top. They didn't look up for the fight. I mean, how could you go from that in the first half to that in the second? That really scunners me. I can't. It's all right. We can keep saying, right, okay, well, we'll come back. It's not too bad. They've dropped 3 points. No, it's no. We've got to start playing now. If you're getting punched in the mouth week after week, you've got to say, wait a minute, I'm going to stop this. And Rangers, I know we're just labouring along. I don't get it. We have no idea whatsoever on a plan B. None whatsoever. We can't change it up when we're in trouble.
We look at a team who's short of confidence to me.
Devoid of confidence.
When that's shown through in the second half, but didn't in the first half. If I've been fair, Andy, the first half was okay.
Yeah, but Ox, if you're coming out and you're playing like that, you shouldn't dip on the way they did in the second half.
Keep going,
they can't play 90 minutes. I mean, it's the start of the bloody season. We should be rocking around. What? That's just that. I said that before, and I just did that. As soon as they scored the third day, here we go. You know, unbelievable.
And you come, Jeff?
Yeah, same as yourself, Andrew. You know, just frustrated, not getting a second half. As I said before, you get at half time, everything's looking great. They come out, it's like Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll goes in and Hyde comes back out. You just don't know what you're going to get now.
Mm-hmm. Mediocre, isn't it?
It could be worse. You could support Aberdeen.
I think the thing about it is what's frustrating about it is we know we've got more to come, Andy, but there's just something, I don't know, I can't, confidence, form, wrong decision making, change of shape, tactics. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, mate.
No, that's where I'm lost in. You can't on it. Like I said there, if you keep getting done in a certain way, you find ways to change it. And Rangers just don't seem to be wanting to do that at the moment. It's very frustrating, right enough. I mean, I'm trying to keep calm, to be honest with you, right enough. But it's all right. We can keep saying week after week, come on, right, well, we'll start now. We'll get a couple of games going. But it don't look like it's coming anytime soon. And that's what's worrying me. I think this could be a pretty funny season.
Maybe we're missing Ryan Jack. What about that one?
Well, my opinion on him, right enough. I think we need him, and somebody like him that can dig about and cover with defenders. Because I'll tell you now, I don't care what anybody says. Barisic and Tavernier are not defenders. I think the wee boy Patterson, this is just my opinion, I think the wee boy Patterson is suffering about us shouting for him to be in the team. I think Stephen Gerrard's stubborn, and we might not see him much. And come the January window, if that bid's big enough, you might not see Patterson at all, and that would be a great shame for the Rangers going forward. I really think there's something going on there with Patterson, really.
Strange, by the way.
It's very strange. Yeah.
Strange.
No, I think the boy had COVID, mate, didn't he? I think he was, one. Oh no, he had to isolate.
No.
He didn't have COVID. He was one of the ones that had to isolate. But we'll see. We'll see if we see him on Wednesday evening. We move on to a cup tie, which is the quarter final of the cup. But it's a big game, and we need to play better than that in the second half. Scott, if we're going to win games, we need to play for two halves.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We definitely need but can we? I don't think we can play for two halves. And that's the worry that I think everyone's got. We just seem to do enough and get a goal, and then we sit on our laurels and don't keep pushing for the next one. And that next one is the next one we actually need. We don't just need one goal, we need two goals.
Yeah.
I was looking for
one at a time. Wait till you hear your name. Andrew, any more talking about you and you'll get sent out of the class. Jaffa, in you come.
I was just going to say, one player that came to my mind as the second half was trundling on. And I know he wasn't on the bench, but I kind of had a moment of, I wish he was on the bench. Jermaine Defoe.
Aye.
I listen. I know that Ruth didn't have great service today, but in the second half, I thought he just went missing after he missed that chance.
He's anonymous.
His head seemed to go. And then you come, Andrew.
Yeah, I just want to agree with what Scott was saying there. Totally agree with what he was saying. It's just, it's 45 minutes and then, it's nothing. It's just something has to change. As you say, Doc, I can't put my finger on it. Cannot put my finger on it.
I wouldn't have changed anything at half time, George EK, would you? I mean, we were all happy. You were happy.
No. At half time, I mean, I thought we should have been 2-up. I thought with Tavernier get that chance.
Is it ready?
There was a powder puff shot, you know what I'm talking about?
Bye-bye.
Cheers, chap.
Blunt.
Carry on, George.
You know what I mean? I was just saying it was English. We should have been 2-up before England at the end of the first half, and we shouldn't have changed anything at all, man. Because if we kept our shape, we looked good in the first half. You know what I mean? The second, we're not going to say we're excellent, but we're decent. You know what I mean? The second half, man. Oh, I don't know, man. Just that we kind of fell apart again. You know what I mean? Started panicking, making crap passes. You know what I mean? Slow passes, short passes that were too hard. You know what I mean? Just basically bereft ideas.
Aye. Interesting. Jaffa, the boy Pacuna come on, but then we couldn't judge him, mate. He get through into it. Looks as if he's no scared to shoot. Just first impressions.
That's the first thing I really quite liked, Dogs. The first thing he done, he got the ball, edge of the 18-yard box, and he had a pop with his left peg, and he was about a yard by the post. But listen, we need that. I think you just need the variety, don't you? I don't think you can judge him. He looked not bad for what he got on his cameo. It wasn't a bad cameo, but it was a difficult game to come into. It was a tough one, but it didn't look out of place. Put it that way, Hawks. It'd be good to see him getting more game time.
Aye, Andy. Obviously, we couldn't judge the boy in his home debut, could we?
No, not really right enough. But I said to Chubbs at full time there, I'm not sure right enough. But Jeffrey's just made a good point. He looked to have a shot, and I got the shot half right enough. But it's just so frustrating. They keep letting me bloody down, Come on, but I don't know if it's like we'll be back up come tomorrow. We'll be back up ready for the cup game and make sure we get in the next round and try and get this first trophy sorted out. But they can't keep playing like that. Just it's frightening that they've not got 90 minutes in it, and I can't understand that. At the start of the season, you should be up for it and ready. And what is that, the sixth league game we played in now?
But
still top of the league playing like that, eh?
Anybody that says we're playing well, but no,
kidding myself. But that's the thing. You've got to be honest with I think this is where we're so great at. We critique on what we see and what we've seen so far in the league. You can't turn around and say, we'll be all right, we'll be good. We're not good. We're honking at the minute. The problem we've got is we see when Rangers scored the goal last season, they get that early goal, we usually follow it up with a second. That takes the pressure off. We don't look like we can follow it up with a second. I mean, I think it's the first time in a while that we scored in the first half. It's very worrying. Very worrying to me, is that.
Mm-hmm. Is it personnel, shape? Is the team void of confidence? Is it the tactics, Jaffa? Give me a one here.
I'm not sure if it's the tactics. I mean, this 4-3-3, that's our system. We've been playing it for 3 years now. It's worked. Could be the players, Ox. Yes, it could be. I mean, but again, the first half today didn't tell you that. It told you a different story. The first half, it was good. It was all give and goes. It looked like the players all knew each other. You know, the left-hand side with Barisic and Sakala were linking up really well. On the right-hand side, Roof and Tavernier. Tavernier was getting into great positions, really good forward positions, pinging the ball into the box. We were going round about the 18-yard box. I don't think it's tactics, Ox, and I don't think it's personnel. I think it's just confidence and just the players not doing their job properly and losing their shape.
All right. Somebody mentioned fitness. Is that a concern? George EK, then Andrew?
I think it's got to be if we can't play for 90 minutes or 96 minutes, whatever, you know what I mean? It just seemed to be the first half. We seemed to play all right, man. And in the second half, man, we seem to run out of Hingley, run out of steam altogether. It's strange, man, considering the fitness of Leipzig we're supposed to be going through, man. We're supposed to be apparently we're supposed to be the fittest team in the league. But it doesn't look like that, does it? It doesn't look like that at all. And I'll tell you something and all. I hope we get our act together for this cup game, because see if we don't play well in the cup game, we could go it. You know what I mean? And the fans have won Gerrard's back.
What?
Without doubt.
Well, sometimes you deserve criticism, mate.
I mean?
Sometimes you deserve criticism. And you come, Andrew?
Aye, well, I thought really, well, if you put it if you go back to the Celtic game, Celtic were all there as in the first half. So we came out in the second half and we were the better team in the second half. So we can't say really we're a first half team. You know what I mean? So it's like
we're a one half team.
we're a one half team. So I think it is fitness. I do. Not fitness, confidence. Because you know we defended well against Celtic in the first half. And then played some decent stuff in the second half. So, to be honest, I don't think it's fitness. I think it's confidence, to be honest.
All right, fair enough. I get where you're coming. Confidence, well, the manager's got a job today and you need to start winning games to get your confidence up. Andrew? Andy Felix?
Oh, definitely. I think he needs to get them in there after the game there and give them a right good bollocking. Tell them what it means to play for Rangers and get these guys to start realising what's in front of them. You can't just go out and play like that. That's just unacceptable. You know, I mean, if I go like that and perform like that and my work I'm getting done, I'm out of my job, you know.
Well, a minute, I'll cut across you. I think we've been joined by a caller. All right, caller?
Yes?
You need to turn the music off.
Wait, hold on.
It's a good tune, right enough.
He takes this radio serious, didn't he? How are we doing? Is that Sam?
Yes, this is Sam.
How are you doing, mate? What's on your mind?
Right.
You need to turn the show off, mate. We're going to end up talking to ourselves.
Right. Right. What I was thinking was, you know, we've went through all the other years, right? And we've always had a great defence. And what Stephen Gerrard seems to think that it can change them for different games for Europe, for playing Kilmarnock, for playing Dundee.
You'll need to turn the show off behind you, mate. It's keeping up. Turn it off.
Turn it off, right? Hold on. Right, turn it off, right?
Right, carry on.
Right, so what I think is, see any teams that are doing anything in football, they always have the same back four. It doesn't matter what day of the week you turn up to play anybody, you have the same back four, because that's what you build a team on.
You'd have played Balogun the day, Sam, eh?
Oh, I would have played Balogun. What I'm saying is, see, for a manager, he picks his goalkeeper, he picks his back four, and they're the mainstay of his team. But we seem to think, oh, if we're playing Dundee, we'll play this team. If we're playing in Europe, we'll play this team. We don't see your back four. They're the guys that keep your doors shut. So you pick your 4 players at the start of the year, and that's what you build on. You say,
barring injuries.
Of course, everything is always barring injuries. But you pick your 4 and say, these are the guys that are going to keep everybody out. And these are the guys we're going to work on to say, you 2, learn to play this. You're 2 central defenders. You're the one that goes forward. You're the one that sits back. You're your left back. You're your right back. This is what we do. That's what you do. And then you say, see if you're going to change your team builds around about going forward comes from your midfield. And then you say how our midfield work, how our forwards work. If somebody's not making it in the midfield or somebody's not making it forward, then we can change them. But see, at the end of the day, you want to shut your back door. And your back door is always the same 4 guys. And that's what it is. But what we tend to do is we tend to think, we'll go and play Balogun here. No, we'll play Highlander here. No, we'll play Jack Simpson here. And no offence to the guy Jack Simpson, but the guy was lost today. But I think that's because he's not been used to working in the back 4 we had. And I think that's a big problem. And then when we go forward, we tend to think, this game will play these guys. We've brought in guys over the summer, but they've not been able to jump right into the team. The guys that we have bought have been good enough for the bench, but they've not been good enough to say, see you that's playing centre forward or see you that's playing left wing or left midfield. I can take your place. You need to sit out. And that's, that's a downstep.
Is the point, Sam, the point you're saying is you think our signings have improved our squad, but maybe not our first 11?
Yes, exactly.
All right. Jaffa, and you come?
Yep, I hear your point. I think it's valid. I think the manager kind of indicated that at his press conference on Friday that he got the best of what was available to him. So we improved the bench essentially, but we've not necessarily improved the first 11. And I'm not defending. I'm not just doing this to play devil's advocate. But there has been a lot of stuff going on in the background. COVID issues, players getting injured. We've got Kent out now, so yes. There's a lot of disruption to the team, and that's I genuinely I'm not saying I'm not using that as an excuse by any way. I'm just throwing it out there that that's a fact, and everybody knows it. We all know that.
Right? Can I ask you a question? Do you think a lot of the players that we've got in that team that played today have the confidence and the ego to be saying, I'm a good player, I don't need to bother about who's with me and who's not with me? And we didn't have that. We have players that are actually, excuse the language, shiting themselves when they get the ball to their foot. We don't have players that are going there and saying, look, I'm a Rangers player, I'm good enough to take it by you. You go, I've got the ball, who can I get to? That's what I thought. We don't have the gumption to say, I'm a Rangers player, I'm going to show you what I can do.
That's confidence, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I don't think even players that we brought along for last season, when we had a good season, they don't show that.
The confidence is a factor. George UK, then Andy Felix.
Aye, I've got an idea, babe, you know what I mean, how to solve that. See, like a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't feeling too good, right? So I looked up on YouTube, right? And it said, try Manuka honey. I went, since I've taken it, I feel dandy, right? So I think everyone in the Rangers first should get a tablespoon of Manuka honey before they go on that gun, because they'd still be running the bloody now.
If only life was so simple.
There you go, Manuka honey.
Oh dear. I thought that was a new bird you were saying. On you
go. Absolutely brilliant, George. I agree with what the guy says with the defence, right? Spot on. If you go back many years, Soon said, get that right at the back and then the rest will come. The chopping and changing, obviously, with the COVID and all that, right, is, causing a problem. But, yeah, your back 4 should always be your back 4, whatever he's going to go with. My personal opinion on that, right, we got a left back and a right back that can warm up the pack and cross, but the two of them couldn't defend for fun. That's the problem you've got with them two, even if that's a permanent back 4. I don't know. Definitely, as I've said to you, I've bumped my gums many a times about this. There's no change on it. We have players in that team that's got the same old failings, what happened before, what happened last season, and they're still there. And that comes down to they've not got the heart to play when the pressure's on. They can't play. They can't play it for a badge. And I won't change on that. And I probably get shot down, but it definitely is. And then when we turn around and say, well, we've got great these Rangers players, right? Apart from Davis and McGregor, we've not got greats. We've got what we've got now. That's the problem. They're good players on the day, but they're no better than that. When we're saying that, oh, he's brilliant, he's like, away. Come on, we're kidding ourselves, but we're at where we're at now, so we have to accept that. They're known as greats because of what they've done. If you're talking about actual great players, I'm not having that. And it pains me to say it, but this is what we've got now. We've got to hope that somewhere along the line, Gerrard gets into them and gets some positivity from the players. They'll never play for another bigger club, will they?
I think the game's changed, mate. I think that how Jock Wallace would handle that dressing room after the game compared to how Stephen Gerrard would have it. The game's changed. And you come, Sam?
I would like to say and all, we talk about Ryan Kent and that, about being such a good player. But, we've never bought a player in the last 2 or 3 seasons that's walked straight into our first team and been, look, I'm the man here. You need to build yourself up to my ability. And we talk about Ryan Kent, but how many games does he actually play good games? How many times, how often has he lost in a game? Because
he didn't do a lot wrong today.
Obviously. I think he had one of his better games today, to be honest with you.
Listen, I don't think Kent's looked fit all season, mate, and hopefully he comes back refreshed. I agree. I'd like to see him play back out in the wing again. I don't get this.
Yes.
Bringing him and Scott Wright in. I've seen it with Wright today in there. With all the legs on. Yeah, when it comes off, it looks brilliant. The wee 1-2s, the gives and goes. It's like 5-a-side football. But you want them exposing people out in the wing. George?
I totally agree with you, mate. I swear to God. You've just said it. You have just said it. Kent comes back, goes in the wing, cuts in for the wing, man. He's a much better player, much better. In that position we got him playing the new man. I just think he's just no doing it. He's just no cutting that at all. And I think he feels lost himself. Get him back out in the wing, my way, when he's fit, man. And I think he's an exceptional player.
I also think that's what we've got with Alfie as well, because Alfie scored a lot of goals when he gets stuck into the middle of the park. He's a better player now. He's a better team player. But he lost his goal-scoring aspects because he's not a great point, coacher.
That's a great point. He might be a better player, but he's a better centre-forward. That's a great point.
Do you think Alfie would have scored the goal Sakala scored today?
I would think so. I'd like to. I don't know if he'd have been in that position,
That's what I would have thought, because Sakala was sitting right he was in the 6-yard box waiting for something to happen. It was just sheer instinct. I mean, it was like a goal we would have seen in the 90s for Alan McCoy, wasn't it?
Aye, Alan made a career out of that, didn't he? Right, on you go, Sam.
Could I say, what I tried to say earlier on, they've brought Sakala in, they've brought Bakuna in, who came in today, which I thought he was interesting, but we've brought all these players in, but not one of them came straight into the first team right away. We've had them for months, and they've sat back. We've never had a player that we've bought and came right into the first team right away when we bought him and said, that's a class player, that's why we bought him. This is what if we're buying them, why are they not good enough to go straight into the first team?
Well said. Well, gentlemen, Sam, is this the first time you've phoned in?
Yes, this is the first time I've phoned in. I've listened quite a few times, but tonight I was just a wee bit disappointed in the way we finished.
Everybody phones in when they're disappointed. Nobody phones in when they're in a good mood.
I suppose so.
Andy,
you always want to get something off your chest.
To be fair, Andy Phillips is always in a good mood. That right, Andy?
Oh, definitely. All the time. Hey, listen, I've been quite calm today, right? And if I'm changing a wee bit now as I'm getting older.
So, listen, Sam, thanks very much for taking the time to join us, mate. Good to hear from you. Good call, by the way. We'll don't get more time to talk about some of the debate you stirred. Thanks a lot. Nice to hear from you, mate. Good first time call. Thanks to George.
Listening to me.
No problem, mate. Thanks to George. Thanks to Scott and Ozzy. You get your bed, Scott.
It's just gone 3 o'clock here and 3 o'clock in the morning here. So
yeah, your bed, mate. Always good to hear from you, mate. Take it easy.
No worries, mate.
Good to hear from you, Scott.
And to Crookston. And
cheers, mate. And as you say, Docs, we're still top of the league.
Aye, I know, but Andy for Leeds is right. We didn't play well. Andy, good to hear from you as always.
Andy, bother, pal. I'll catch you through the week.
All right, take it easy. Big announcement tomorrow. Big announcement about.
I can't wait. Like you've had us dangling for a wee while there, pal.
Wait a minute. I'm going to no. Let me. The big announcement is not getting announced tomorrow, but there is an announcement tomorrow. It's something happening in the show this week. There you go.
All right. Well, we'll take that. Like you're a bugger, aren't you? Just tell us all. Right?
He's like Cilla Black. Surprise.
Let's just say Rangers Radio will be joined with a guest who scored winning goals when we won the league.
Oh, I've worked that one out straight away.
Yeah, Lillincrans.
Mark Haley.
Winning goals when we won the league. There we
Mark
go.
Haley.
Mark Haley, yeah.
Winning goals when we won the league. There's a few. Anyway, Jaffa.
Oh, could be Gaza.
You're going to tell us.
Jaffa.
Thanks for having us, Ox. Great to be on with the boys again. Unfortunately, sorry we only got a one each today, but listen, we are still top of the league and we're on the road to 56. Thanks for having me, mate.
I'm going to look at it. I've just looked at the schedule. We've not won a game any time you've been on, so you're trapped.
Right, no bother. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
I'm beginning to think I'm a jinx at all. Right, okay. Thanks for listening. Thanks for taking part in the lads. Thanks for laughing because we didn't play well the second half. But remember, we are top of the league and we're still the people. Take it away, All School Blue.
Wherever we go, we're